Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
The system continues to fall into chaos. Check navigation for active invasions.
Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you today. We have quite the quite the little situation happening at the moment there down where'st I'm around. But we've done pretty much everything we can do to prep for the storm. And so, you know what? It's crazy. The brightness, interestingly enough, it seems like when I first log in, sometimes it'll be like way oversaturated, and other times it will be like darker. I don't know what's going on with that, but you'll even notice, like, see that, like, out in the distance there, like the stars are like really, really bright, whereas sometimes I'm able to see it. So, at any rate, I'm just glad you guys are here with me. For my fellow Floridians, please be safe. I hope you've taken as many precautions as you potentially can. The storm does look like it's going to be something of significance. That being said, I don't think panic is going to do anything. Just have to be prepared. Head on a swivel when the storm comes, and, you know, hopefully we'll all get through this. But with that being said, yeah, I don't understand what the color saturation is with this, but it doesn't really matter. I was looking through all my previous old streams, and I noticed that the one quest I don't believe I have done is Whispers in the Walls. Am I right with that? And yes, I do live in Florida there, King of Fire. And thank you very much. Thank you for all the well wishes that on the post I made earlier. It's you know, it's a thing. But with that being said, I like how they've switched up the quests now so that you have like some of the secondary quests. Yeah, that's nice. That's right, we do. We do all live together. And something I mentioned on the post I made earlier, and please, if you are in the Florida area and you're going to be impacted by the storm, once you're out and kind of in a good place, please check in with the channel just somewhere, just so I can see that you made it out and everything's cool. Okay. We are going to play some Whispers in the Walls. I don't think I've done this quest on stream yet. I do believe that's the case. So I feel like it's a crime. And I think now's the time to do it, you know? Of course, then again, I might have played it, and it was just such a bad stream as far as the sound quality and such that, hey, you know what? Let's do it. Well, you know, one thing we want to do, I want to make sure that the music is on, because I typically have to turn everything off when I'm doing my recording, see? But this quest has some absolutely fabulous music. I don't think that's something that we necessarily want to miss. Oh, perfect. Even better. It's time. And the good thing is now that when we go through it, I've got so much research done on this thing that maybe I can point out a few little things that aren't necessarily commonly known. Ah, so much better. Thank you, thank you. I'm very close to completing my Kume video. It's It's a crazy one. It's very fun to make, though. The intro is... It took me a little bit longer than normal, but I think you guys are going to be... I think you really are going to enjoy it. So here we go. Now, one of the interesting things that when you do replay this quest is I don't think the very... Let's see, I guess I could do the opening cinematic here. We should definitely watch that. Can you... I guess can you even do that now? Oh, well. I think we've all seen it. I don't know. Hold on. Let me just check here something. Maybe if I clear this quest as the actual one. I do like the intro to this. No, apparently you can't replay the intro. Okay. Fair enough. Here we go. Or maybe it'll just start up here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to try to do the little glitch thing. We'll see if I can get it to work. I've tried it before. I've got it to work a couple times, and then... Oh, did you see that? We're in the back of the scene. We have so much to talk about. Let me just look at my little board here. So we have one that I've been working on in the background, specifically about Albrecht and Trotty, which is probably my favorite. I don't want to spoil too much on that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good... I should make that ringtone mine, too. I didn't even think about that. That's a good call. Oh, I have a Bloodborne Warframe situation that I'm going to be getting into. I went over it a little bit in the last stream, but that's going to be something. I also have a video on the shift from soul to the void as far as people's belief structure in the Warframe universe. Wait, what's a Borad? Sure is. There's something wrong with that cat. Did Loid dye his hair? I do miss the sentience, but I think that's on the way yet. We still have to get to them. Well, get back to them. I actually have it on my kitty too, see? Although, mine's a little bit of a darker version of Kalimos.
My looping vigil is over. For me to know, and on no account, wake the family. Despite their conflicts, they sleep in peace. But solitary.
I love the use of religious symbology in video games too. I think it's absolutely amazing stuff.
Dream. And yet, I have. In my dream, one single name repeats. Kalimos.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. I don't always get to stream so much, but well, let's be honest, mainly because I just was having so many problems with getting to actually sound decent. But it seems like we've addressed this finally. And with that in mind, as long as I don't like want to essentially like what's the best way for me to describe it? When I listened to my stream before, like with all the audio popping and stuff, it was like nails on a chalkboard, and I just didn't want to put anybody else through that. So now that we got it good and sounding somewhat decent, the streaming will definitely be coming back.
And it cannot be undone.
This is true. Yes, we do relate in exactly that way. What is really weird that Kalimos was the one to lead us. Like, again, is the Entrati that they know in 1999 somebody that they're interested in getting to, or like in a negative way? Because if that's the case, then one would assume that that Kalimos is hated in a very similar way as Entrati. Or maybe they just they don't want to hate on the cat or anything. But that thing, there's something wrong with Kalimos. I mean, he's died, right?
I have one responsibility in the Kalimos sequence. Awaken the sleeper. But I cannot do it.
Umbra might be relevant in the idea of how the Warframes function. Especially the proto-frames, because I feel like there's going to have to be some level of correlation between the two, don't you think? Oh, yeah. I need to hit the very big time. I haven't been there in so long because I just haven't had a reason to go back, although I do have to do a video on that as well. So I don't know if anybody has noticed, but the writing on these walls is just so significant, and you can actually probably get a few good ideas of what's happening here. I mean, you can definitely see the Oculus, or the what are those things called? The Vitruvian, the eyes. I guess we're gonna find that out again. Totally, just skipping my mind at the moment. You can see right there, kind of in the center, Earth, and then you have kind of one plane and then it moving off into different directions. But notice how one of them, I mean, it kind of looks like, like boobs, but it's timelines. I would love to do one on the tablets in Duviri. They are actually going to figure into the next Entrati video that I've been working on, because that's where they hold most of their relevance. You'll see whenever the video comes out, it'll make more sense. No, Adam, no, I never noticed that before. I might have to check that out. So, I don't know if I think some videos have been made on it, but I think it's pretty obvious at some point we're going to be heading in here. Or here. But what's interesting is I've actually kind of went into this area already, and like from the other edge, and there's nothing there, so it's going to be, I don't know, I guess it maybe needs to be built, or it's just going to go to a different place that they already have set up. But also notice that none of the cavia in the beginning are where they're supposed to be. Some weird ass noises here, though. What is going on? You hear that? Yes, we're definitely have some weather trouble down here, but hopefully we're gonna get through it just fine. It doesn't have anything to do with intelligence. It just has to do with being curious. You know, like I think. Well, I mean, it's up to you what your experience is when you do a campaign. You know, some people want to get straight to it. That's what all the markers are for. You know, so that you can kind of see the story. But then there are people like me who all this stuff just is just so interesting that I try to look for the littlest things, and then I try to see where patterns will show up later, because that's the key. So, like, what do you think? Is it possible that Entradi's actual physical body from this dimension is still in there, like crushed? Or did he disappear? You know, like I said, it's for some that's a little bit too mundane at times. But for someone like myself, or you know, the serious lore aficionados, you know, maybe I should put on the HUD so I can see where it wants me to go. Do do do.
I fear we are off the edge of the
Oh, come on! I was already there.
domain of monsters.
What are you doing down there?
Monster never completed his final project. The vessels. The sequence dictates they cannot awaken before the sleeper does.
Remember what that says?
Hear that? Let us hope the sleeper is untroubled by such strangeness. Find them.
Well, again, it all depends. Did he go back in time, or did he go back to a different dimension? Because there could have already been a body there waiting for him. This is one thing I find super interesting, though. At the moment, those eyes are wide open and, for all intents and purposes, full of some level of, you know, like life, if you will. Or if nothing else, they definitely look, you know, normal. But that's going to change once we take control, huh? Bonk. Let me see if you can see what I was. Oh, you hear him sleeping? He's snoring right now. And then what I was saying before about the room. So technically, that room would be right in. You can actually, yeah, this fog here is covering it up, but you can see where that door is supposed to be at. We'll get into that a little bit later. You can hear the heartbeat now, but later. All right, let's go. I wonder where they keep old Fibonacci at. Hello. Yeah, like that whole little thing there opens up a lot more in the way of questions, does it not? Is it what's being pumped into him, or is it what's being pumped out of him? That's actually a pretty interesting question when you think about it. Because the vessels, in many ways, they look like they may have a place in the function of this area. Let me see if I can, because I don't know if everybody knows this. Oh, he's mad. So if you want to get to that door, wait, where's the thing? Dude, there's some creepy noises in this. I've never actually went into this room like during the quest. Hello. Glad you were all here to join me. I do very much appreciate it.
Following Master Entrati's last command to defend. Show mercy, Tenno. End them.
Alrighty, here we go.
Master Entrati called it.
So check this out.
Loid tongue. He feared it was meaningless, and feared more that it was not.
There's our first indication something's kind of fishy there. If you can see, like, it almost appears as if you could make the case that aspects of this run through the entire laboratory, right? And given that, well, we'll see in a second how there's certain security devices that are made from, well, for lack of a better term, the parts that we see, it's entirely possible that the vessels are also helping to power this area, and thus you could almost consider the lab alive.
That book was like a diary to Master Entrati.
Oh, I forgot to put the book on. I forgot about that.
No doubt it holds the secrets of the vessels and of the Kalimo sequence. Take it, Tenno.
Oh, it's probably going to be like the crappy one too, huh? Not mine.
Active. It is reading you.
Hello.
Gorms is likely to see a compendium of knowledge used as a weapon. But needs must. We need be in no doubt of your skill, at any rate.
What was he doing? All right, check this out. Another interesting thing. This is big brain time here. Right? So, I mean, like this... Is this what's inside one of the vessels? Because it actually doesn't look like it would fit correctly with this, like, little top part here, right? And then you see how it was actually going to go in, and I would say that this particular part almost seems like it's not meant to go anywhere. Like, this is built into the wall. Again, the heart on Deimos is supposedly the thing that kind of allows the void to be utilized in order to power the Warframes. But man, I feel like we may end up finding that retconned at some point. Or at least, you know, they'll add something to the story that makes it a little bit different than how it's understood at the moment. Because it's a little strange. There's no two ways around that. Oh, look at... I never even noticed that, the cracked glass behind here. That's weird. Why is this glass cracked? Oh, very good window. Well, there is a thing now. If you go to the Sanctum and talk to Loid, he has a voice line that talks about something that happened to Kalimos, and it's pretty weird. What is that? So, right here, dude, is he laughing? I never noticed that. That is crazy. I've never noticed them. I never noticed Wally laughing there. Yeah, you see how the missing finger is like the key to it all too. And you have to wonder about those spiral lines. Like that right there seems pretty significant, and I would actually, now check this out. I would actually make the argument that you see the two. There's a ball up on the top with a kind of a blue circle, and then there's a smaller ball at the bottom, right? And then then there's the hand, then you go down, and the bottom one. These are the circles, those like balls that are at the top and the bottom of the Sanctum Anatomica, right? Whenever you come down here the first time, you can see it like spins, and then it turns into a ball, and like a droplet almost goes down. If you go out to them, you can see both of these things. And what's interesting is it's almost like the positioning of this hand and the words, that does look like orc in there, although it's really weird. But you can see how it acts in the same breath as in the same way as the labs itself. LS400, please be safe. And I've been saying this to everybody so far. If you are in the Florida area, once the storm is over, please check in with the channel in one way, shape, or form, just to make sure that I know that you're okay. All right? And good luck and be safe. You know, just hopefully we're all prepared for it. This is actually like a really, really interesting wall. So you can see the Eternalism cube, the block, the great block that Illyria talks about right there. You can see how the hand and the eyes, it's very interesting stuff. Oh yeah, good call on the Waffle House thing. They'll know. That's how you know how bad it is. All right, we ready? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, everybody. Do you hear him laughing? That is messed up. I like the operator. I think the operator makes more sense in the story. Like, I get the drifter thing, but dude, that's like multiple little children's laughter, or laughing. I think you might be onto something there. Yeah, my cat's, he just doesn't care for it. Oh, is it too low? Here. Is that any better? No, this is a replayable quest now. Although, you're going to see that there are certain things. I replayed it one time, and I'm hoping that they've changed this, but there's one thing that it skipped past. And if it does skip past it again, I'll make sure to, make note of it when it does. I can see that with the whole
monstrous danger, these labs. Better off sealed. We can only hope the sleeper has been untouched.
Doesn't it almost look like we're on the same side here,
This great indifference.
Right? All right, here we go. So cool. Definitely one of the best little reveals in a quest. Yeah, my cat's, trying to get, just basically trying to get her exercise in, or his exercise in, I should say. I think I got Hobbs on. Is it just me, or does the quest look like a ton better than it did when it first,
I ask too much of you, Tenno. These horrors must
when it first started.
If these fragments were to unite, destroy them swiftly, Terra.
The storm doesn't look great, but I would say that given what I think it looked like it could turn into, it's definitely more positive than it was. You know, again, we'll have to wait and see when it actually hits for, you know, I mean, it could be the worst thing ever, and it could be something that you know, doesn't really do a ton of damage. Only time will tell. This whole place is made of fingies. It's almost like a constant reminder from Wally to Entrati. Oh, guess I should go the right way, huh? It's just so interesting how the lab just it just seamlessly goes from one side to another, from the just this complete, you know, walled off, crazy looking material here that you know, if Vor's right, is most likely the dust of bones. But then it just transitions so seamlessly right into his laboratory.
A trap? Master Entrati jealously protected his most adored possessions, be they objects or people. Come, the sleeper awaits.
It's interesting you brought up that where are my finger bones. I was just going through some old footage here earlier, and I found the Duviri tablet with that exact thing on there. Where are my finger bones, kiddo? As if we'd know. Look up in the train? Oh, that's that thing I was telling you about. Yeah. The circle, that ball that was at the top there it is. And coincidentally, if we could see the bottom of this, we would see the other end. I think we're in a pocket void space, only because of how the whole area is so large that one would assume you could see it in some way, shape, or form, because Deimos isn't like a extremely huge thing. You would be able to see some aspect of it from the star chart, but you can't. Hold on, before we awaken this, our host, if you will. Just take a look at this guy, and I think his eye is over here. Yeah, there it is. And then I'm not sure, but is this thing open as well? Just see if there's an... Oh, look at... What is that there for? What happens if I go here? Oh, that's from the cat, huh? I didn't think about that. That's probably like an ability or something like that. Sorry, just looking around for little things I may have missed. That looks like a beaker of some sort. Mixing the potions of reality. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point because the void being that close, the infestation would probably be acting a lot more erratic. Oh yeah.
The Kalimo sequence has begun? Did he send you? Is he? No. No, of course he didn't. That would be impossible.
This is, well, Loid, the original. All emotional centers very much intact. Did you have a good sleep?
Ah, the helpful necroloid my Albrecht had made, so that I might have assistance and company. Perhaps that made it easier for him to leave. Resume your duties, construct.
Resume your duties, construct.
Please, follow me.
This is a Tenno, an orphan of the void. Continuing the struggle our master abandoned.
He abandoned the struggle? That's interesting.
Tenno. A deserter, presumably. Is it not aware there's a war going on?
My cat's having a field day right now.
The war, too, is just a memory now.
Yep, this is true. He still believes. Just goes to show you how long he was sleeping for. His hair looks different. Yeah, he really does. I haven't had Hobbs out in a while, so I think that might be the reason. He's just so excited. Because I've been using Helios to get scans and stuff. Yeah, it's possible.
Tenno, while Loid completes his inspections, you'd better meet the Carvier.
Yeah, where were you hiding them?
Reminder of darker times. Though Master Entrati always hoped the awaited operator would be able to understand them.
Oh, okay, so that's good. Okay, that makes sense. Paid special note to the void words that are said during this part, because the idea for me is that they should understand what they mean, right? So why can't we just ask? No, we really don't. And here's the thing about time, too. We're not even sure what version of our timeline we're in. Could be the first one. Could be the second one. Could be the third one.
An incomplete experiment, one might say.
That's putting it mildly, I would say. There's like no hole. How do you hear? Loid has been asleep for a very, very long time.
Incomplete.
How long, we don't really know.
The vessels are
But
unfinished.
it does appear as if
Return to operable
he missed a lot.
barely. The sequence dictates I am to wait for their operator. Clearly that cannot be you.
Oh, it can be. Tenno, Master Entrati's Grimoire suggests you are the key. That colorless antique there? Use it.
He does. He does. All right, before we go any further, we already got this view from. This is where the hex, and then you also have, here's the book, 1999, right there, MCM XCIX. I don't know that I can really read any of the other texts because I don't think they actually have any. Yeah, they're just Requiem symbols. Where's our fried chicken? It's I think, honestly, I believe that this is like a kind of a design choice to bring you over to the computer. It looks different, you know, to kind of get your attention. Alrighty, let's try it. I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on what I still have to do yet and how long it takes.
This isn't right. The transference stream. It's being
Song's
diverted.
amazing. Let's see if it worked. Yeah, I'll definitely go and check them out. I might have screwed it up. Yeah, I didn't hit it right. That being said, I kind of want to see Arthur here. Maybe we'll do another one at some point, another stream, and I'll try to do that one. I never noticed that before. That was like so clear. Yes, yeah, Into the Void, the name of this song. If you haven't checked the lyrics out for it, definitely do it, and you will see the significance it has to the story. That's a pretty good point, and I think that there is some legitimacy to the bodies in the vessels there, in the proto-frames.
Arthur, find a terminal. Check in.
I gotta do something first.
And know you made it.
There he is. He's always watching. That I saw like one screen there that definitely seemed different than what I remember. But that being said, the quest itself looks a lot more vivid. So it could just be that was always there, and keep trying to do bullet jumps. It's just not happening for me. I wonder what that says. I'll have to take a look at that later. No, you don't actually. I've actually played this through a couple times, and even on the channel, it doesn't seem like it's a problem. Are my graphics settings turned down? They might be a little bit. That's possible. Why? What am I missing? Just so you guys know, this one here, this is the boss. The one of the, I believe it's the final boss of Dark Sector. And I'm trying to think what the other ones were. The Hurricane prep is all right. It's pretty much done for me. Just waiting for things to happen now. So I've already went back here too. I don't know if you've had the chance to do it, but there's really nothing back there.
I wish we could just start over. Find that doctor and Trotty bastard on day one. Then I would.
Okay, is that what that one? I thought that. I knew that one had significance too. I couldn't remember what it was. $11.54. And the sand keeps us from going up. Did anybody notice that? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Taking all prayers and well wishes. Absolutely. I just have this funny feeling that one of the video games is going to come alive and either become a boss or, and I think the actor they got to do the one, I think he's going to have a significant role in it. Just look around, see what we got here. And there's DETV. So, you can get yourself sandbags or things that to basically cut off flooding, potential flooding into the house, especially in the lower areas of your doors. Board up windows if you think it's going to be that bad. You know, you can get just regular 2x4s and just essentially nail them in front of the window just to keep from any kind of, you know, damage, if you will, from debris and things like that. He just refuses to reload that old AX-52. I did see the concept art with Nyx's fangs. It's very interesting when you really get down to it. Eleanor is the best, though. She's the one I'm going to be going for come New Year's Eve, just saying. Check this out. Anybody pick out the significance of this particular little image? Oh crap, I didn't know that there was a metal rendition of it. I apologize. I didn't see that quick enough. Oh yeah. Now does anybody remember my last video? Well, I can understand. Eleanor's looking pretty fine, okay? I think we can all agree on that. Kalimos is looking at us, not Arthur. Remember that, right there, a second ago.
You are
See?
late.
Kalimos is looking at us. About the sun god and the lunar goddess. I think Aoi is all right, you know, but is that green coming from the phone, the Nokia phone?
Still on his heels. Albrecht rarely smiled after his return from the void, and never like that.
He does look like Colonel Sanders. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Where's the chicken at, dude? Yeah, so that's an interesting line right there because it kind of contradicts what he says later. And we'll go into it whenever the next line comes up. I'll kind of talk about more significance then. Let's just take a quick look around. You did a number on the old Palm 2 there. It almost sounds like there's more than just the voices of the Cavia, doesn't it?
Silence, creatures.
Yep, that's true. On the Palm 2 thing.
Overloaded your connection. Unfortunately for Albrecht's cherished Palm 2, not as future-proof as the label claimed.
I have a feeling that you're right on the Min thing. Kentucky Fried Corn Drop. Wonder what they're like.
They're attacking the sensory network I installed. Our eyes and ears. To arms, Tenno. Play the warrior and leave the tactics to me. Construct, I'm awake. Your one responsibility is fulfilled. Be with the family. They must be kept in the state of ignorance to which my Albrecht so wisely consigned them.
But yes.
Well, he's kind of a dick too, though. You gotta admit.
Until we meet again, Tenno.
Oh, you better believe they fry stuff in Warframe. You can't have all this gilded glory around you and not have some level of fried something, you know? Let's do... Gotta put on... Gotta put on my book. Alright, let's do it. Oh, maybe Min is? Yeah, maybe Min is somewhere in here already in the form of something else. You think Tagford would have an idea, though? Oh, yeah. Now we get to the meat of it all.
I'd crawl away in shame, too, if I'd done what Loid did. Doesn't that Grimoire feel a little light?
Creepy.
The murmur presumes to destroy our auditory and visual senses. In all the time I have been asleep, they have never once been so bold.
I love Ortis. He's just incredibly annoying, and yet at the same time, it's kind of fun.
If Albrecht ever understood their babble, he never bothered to share that knowledge with me. Here they come. After all those years of creeping, silent encroachment, something has changed them, stirred them up. The Necromecs never could be compelled to attack the murder. Albrecht suspected they could no longer distinguish between the indifference and himself.
That's bad. I mean, again, I've said this in a couple videos, but there's just too many of these references to, like, Entradi not being able to differentiate himself between him and the Void. That has to have some kind of significance. Oh, thank you so much, DE, for putting rapid fire on all the things now, weapons and guns and melee weapons. It's just so nice for my carpal tunnel, not having to worry about smashing the trigger 1,000 times in a row.
Gather enough of the floating Warframe glyphs, and they should reinvigorate the organs you're here to protect. A fallback system, in case the promised operator never showed.
Oh, did I fail? I wasn't even looking at the thing. I always forget to look at the thing during this mission. Let's try it again. You know what, though? Just a lot easier. Oh, I get to see him again?
Doesn't that Grimoire feel a little light?
Oh, I got that one right through his heart.
The murmur presumes to destroy our auditory and visual senses. In all the time
All right, let's try again.
I've never once been so bold.
So I guess that's one of the...
Ignore the caveat.
I don't know if I enjoy
Understood their babble.
Kume's second or not. I love how powerful it can become, but at the same time, it does appear to... It takes your focus off of what you're doing.
Silent encroachment. Something has changed them, stirred them up. The Necromecs never could be compelled to attack the murder. Albrecht suspected they could no longer distinguish between the indifference and himself. A theory he was reluctant to confirm.
All right. There we go. Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're shifting focus. Get to the victory. Look at them.
So this is one quest. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to. Really pissed. Be able to like stop and comment on every little thing. So it seems like there's a little bit of a timer on this one.
Briefly showed reluctance, and I saw no reason to punish them for his negligence. I saw off Granum's thugs. I beat back the infested.
You did it?
By the void, I shall see the end of these monsters.
Like by yourself? Okay. My screen is literally filled with stuff. Crap.
Dust yourself down, then. We are still alive. Rejoin me, and the Kalimo sequence may proceed.
Wow. All right. I actually thought we were going to fail that one too. Yeah. Yes, they are the Granum thugs, aren't they? it's interesting too because that means kind of goes back on the fact that he's missed so much and that like Granum like was gone for a long period of time, and then there was the whole section with Nefandio, like he was like just not even there. This is one of my favorite parts coming up here. There he is.
You're right, Fish. Loid could never figure things out. We have nothing to worry about.
I believe the deal that Lotus made had something to do with the moon.
If the Carvia have been babbling our secrets to the Murmur, I shall immolate the lot of them. Promise or no promise? It seems Albrecht said more than we heard. Despite the signal becoming corrupted, his words to you are preserved in the transference buffer. We should extract them. But for that, the POM 2 requires a replacement.
Actually, there is something implying somewhat that she did. It's whenever you go visit her.
You do understand that accessing an Etra cell without a key glyph is completely impossible?
Hey, that's us. Oh, how convenient, Dagford. You just seem to have one of them things. Crazy.
A key glyph.
Oh, where'd you come from?
So, the Carvia have provided the very item we require. Very well.
I'm actually having a pretty good day here so far. I appreciate you all joining me here in my disaster stream.
May be sending you into a trap.
Hopefully that's not the case in
And
the
if
end.
you do end up in one, I'm afraid you are on your own.
Lloyd, you're just a wonderful person right now, man. He's just so bitter. Yep, I think that the Tenno kids had something to do with that. She actually kind of talks a little bit about that in the Ropalolis fight too.
Glyphs are a heavy burden for living beings to bear. Each type will impede.
Oh,
you
that's the
in its
best
own
one
way.
though. Yep. Or it's either Void Demon or Void Child. I'll take that Eximus kill. Okay. So when you finish the Lotus Eater's quest, you will be given a particular. You'll be giving it as a reward, and you can put it anywhere you want. It's just a decoration for your orbiter, but it does have some very interesting things going on. Just like this room. Just need my kills from far away. Let's check out this. So, the question now is who is the basis of this vessel? Poor thing. And notice her eyes have gone white. Not to mention her pieces are just all over the place. You know? It's like the hand's here, but it's not actually attached to her arm. You got, so you got your little bit of Requiem words to make everything work correctly. I'm trying to get the 20 feet away, 20 meter away thing, in case you guys are wondering. And I guess, you know, if you look at her her second ability is more of just like a bonus. It's not that bad. But if it is something that you just want to incorporate, it can be kind of a pain in the butt. Wow, I came all the way back. So, did you ever see, like, you see this constantly in other media where the words they can be used as like a almost like runes. They can be utilized for different things, essentially to close things off, to open other things up, to commune with things, as we'll see here very shortly. I made mention of it in one of my other videos, but I'll actually bring it up here too when we speak to the man. There he is. This is my favorite scene in the whole quest right here. Wonder, can I? Ah, no, you can't.
These things lying around, abandoned, like you, Loid.
You are his demon, not mine.
You sure?
Won't listen.
All right, so
My apologies to now.
you need to keep in control of your emotions there, buddy. Seriously. This very much looks like a summoning circle. And given that the man in the wall seemed to have control of this one, I think you can make the argument that Entrati sat right here and communed at times, potentially to ask what was going on, or if there was something that he could do to stop it, or, you know, the other end of it, that maybe there's just an aspect of the thing that we just don't know yet. You know, Zaku's actually pretty close to that already. Her abilities are essentially aspects of Entrati's Entrati's mindset regarding the Requiem words and the Void. I didn't get any of the new incarnates yet this week because, again, I have to go back to Deviri and get the tons of clamps before I can do anything. We'll get there eventually. Oh, this is another good place. Hold on. I try to get these in my videos, but it's a lot more difficult when you're trying to edit and put something in like real quick. But this place typically is the best view of the man on the wall. I just have to... Oh, they changed that. You can't even get up on there now. Can you not see I'm trying to do something? That's too hard to see. This particular wall has the very best view of him. I don't know if you caught it. Within 10 meters, huh? Fair enough. So, I don't think that the man on the wall, the face that we see above the Sanctum Anatomica, I'll try to find it. There's a couple other ones in the area. I don't necessarily... I'm not sold on the fact that that actually is him any more than any of the other effigies of his head around the that are actually like the stone ones. Hopefully I'll find one here. I'll try to find one. Oh, this is another good one. So check this one out. This is one of my favorite vessels because you kind of see that the literal area itself, right? The labs, if you will, are literally clasping on to the vessels, almost like they're holding them, or even holding them down. You see that? So there's right there, right? You can see like how these fingers would be pressed against her like abdomen, right? And then look at that. See how like she's actually, it literally looks like she's being held down. Excuse me. Sorry if you heard that cough there. I apologize. Yep. I'm going to try to get up there. The cat got up there just fine. So look at that. Is that not creepy or what? It's literally sucking in that same, like, sand that we saw earlier. Isn't that crazy? Oh yeah, some vessels' hearts beat, some don't, and actually some change over the course of the mission. Or of the course of the quest, I should say. Like they're working in the beginning, like the one in the Sanctum. in the beginning of the quest is working fine. After the quest is over, you can't hear the heartbeat anymore. You can hear the other vessel's heartbeat, which we'll get into that more towards the end. Hello to those who've just joined. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. Just doing a little bit of whispers in the walls, kind of a little bit more in depth than just a normal video would. So if you're looking for like kind of just a linear path through, that's not what we're doing. Lots of stops and starts, but just want to talk about different aspects that typically I don't think many people would actually take the time to look at, but some interesting stuff, you know? I would consider voice acting, absolutely. When I was in college, I actually did a fair bit of acting, so yeah, I would be down for it completely. I love it. I love the concept of it. And if DE wants to make me the voice of Wally, oh yeah. I will rock that stuff so hard. You don't even know. Finishers. A. Back to the big brain. Let's take a quick look just to see what's up here. That's interesting. Now, if you in these particular little rooms, definitely give a listen, because there are all kinds of crazy voices in here. Hold on, let's see if we can maybe get rid of some of this shenaniganery. All right. Can you hear it? I'll turn it up a little. Hold on. Isn't that crazy? Yes, I did find the car room. I think that I think that was introduced like after Dante, right? That particular section of it. Yeah, that room is super cool. Kind of shows Entrati has an infatuation for things from the past. Oh, that didn't count? Oh, yeah, it did.
There, a Netrocell.
Oh, really?
Albrecht
Onko's
stored all manner of
Really?
sentimental old junk in these.
Onko's voice actors in Five Nights at Freddy's? That's amazing.
The Netrocell's security apparatus is diligent. That door won't open while it can sense the murmur nearby. So eliminate them.
All right, guy.
termites. The lab's automated systems are trying to lock down the Netracell. Your only option is to destroy them.
All right. I guess I'll do it then. Better get off the little lippy there. I don't remember my operator's voice. I just remember if you put the options in front of me, I could. It's like one's owl and something else. I can't remember what the name. I know they're significant too. I probably should know this, but alas, there's only so much information this old brain can hold. You have to understand.
Sardonic aloofness. I was a fool not to see the resemblance before.
My man needs some therapy in the worst way. Ow. Yeah, what was the other one though? Where is this? Oh, it's underneath us. Mm-hmm. All right. You know, I'm gonna reject this Omakuji and start a new one. All right. That was easy enough. Gotta go find the Palm 2 board. I want to say OWL is the one I'm using. There's just so many people speaking right now. It makes you wonder, you know, like, who's all here? The chat in the wall. I do believe there was something. Yeah, okay. You guys see what that is, right? Literally getting ready for the ball drop as we speak. Now, what's crazy is that this broadcast is technically coming from, 1999. Fully required. Overall theme of Warframe.
You should have left well enough alone, kiddo. It'll never get better if you keep on picking at it.
He doesn't seem happy. Honestly, I don't know if it started out this way. Let's see something. I want to see if I can just kind of walk around him. Does he not go away? No, he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't care if he gets shot either. Notice all the clocks on the wall. Zeros. There's some Big Bites pizza, but it looks real like Real old. He does want us hunting for the page, but he wants us to give it to him. He wants that page.
Return to me with the board, Tenno.
Well, there, yeah, that's true. We would probably stop picking at it, and he probably doesn't realize that if he gave us good loot, we would give him the page. Yep. Tones and tones of buildings and structures, small walls, big walls, huge walls. Man, that'd be really surreal if all the whispers were people that we pretty much destroyed. Let's see if we can get the master view. See, something's stopping me from getting there. Usually can kind of get up on the top a little bit. No, you can't really see it, especially with the Netracell search perimeter. Oh, I don't know. Ballas and Albrecht, that's a tough call right there. They're both so good. This is like chill time for us, I guess. No enemies, no nothing. Let's just go have a look. There he is. I think if you come over here, there's like a film over it. It's tough to see. But and that's a big head. That's a really big... He's right there. You know, he's right there. I can't remember what the hawk voice sounds like. I think the reason why a lot of people consider Albrecht a bad guy is because they don't know exactly what his intentions are. I don't know what this guy's doing, just chilling out here in the corner, but you know, I'll take that. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the stream, but there's just these constant like mentions and references to Albrecht not knowing if he is a part of the Man in the Wall or not. Like, it's so frequent that either it's been put in there specifically to just keep hammering at you so that you don't think this, or, you know, and based on what we see, it very much looks like both the Tenno and Entrati, at least, may in fact have... They might always be a part of the Man on the Wall. A couple of the cutscenes have actually kind of alluded to that. Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that.
Would you do the honors?
Oh, I'd love to. I really would. Where's all the smoke at?
Arthur, Tenno, forgive me. I need Loid to understand
Why did he ask for forgiveness there?
without him. Why I forced him to destroy the device after I had gone. and why I could never say the words he so needed to hear.
Oh, the Trinity is a huge, huge thing in Warframe. The idea of the three.
If I had remained in the Deimos laboratory, Loid would never have been safe from him. You know of what I speak. And so I retreated to the only place in history where that entity could not easily follow, to draw his greedy eye away from Loid.
I want you to consider something here real quick. I want you to just look at whenever I push the button. Now remember where he says he's at, and look in the background.
Tenno, I require your trust.
Oh, this game's
Craft
lore
the
is
little
incredible.
curio whose blueprints you will find in the computer's memory. Complete the Kalimos sequence. Repair. Rebuild. When the time is right, find me.
Did you see where he was at? He's at the lab. That's pretty interesting, don't you think? Did he pre-record that? Hey, from Bulgaria. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. He's at the lab. Huh.
The skin of a martyr doesn't suit you, Albrecht.
But it's weird for him to speak
If something mattered,
in the way that he
should have gone
did,
away.
and it be a pre-recorded message.
You heard him, Tenno. He requires your trust. So craft the bloody thing.
All right. Sorry, man. Okay, so they did. Okay. This is nice. I get to return to the orbiter. This was the thing that I actually, when I replayed it the first time, it just skipped this next part altogether. Yes.
Yahoo Gargoyle.
Oh,
Bring
see,
it back
yeah.
here and we shall examine what form will do to help us.
Okay, first, normally in the quest, from what you guys remember, this is the part we have to go back and build it, and then there is dialogue here from the man on the wall, you know, saying something very specific, which I wish they would have added in. I'm not saying that he's still in the... Well... Maybe I am saying he's still in the labs. At the very end of the quest, we'll talk about that, because I think there's something else that you all, when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, okay. But at any rate, now remember that here, the man on the wall goads us into building this thing. And yes, as far as Kume is concerned, I think Kume is very good for new players, but if you take the time to master her, she can be extremely effective. You know, her kit's not what I would say extremely difficult to kind of utilize, but to really know what you're doing and to get everything to work together. Oh yeah, I do have the prime maggot. Yes, and you'd be surprised. He just never stops moving. He's just constantly going around the ship. These are the I've actually been using these a lot recently. The Hexes, that's right. Whoa. Okay, so he's still sleeping, I guess. Yeah, you can hear the heartbeat. It's very, 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 very subtle. But, I mean, mainly because he's snoring too loud. Get up. There's a war going on. No, they are still quite normal. Bloodshot and all in certain areas. It's like I could do the man on the wall thing. Look at these things. Wait, hold on. Look at these things lying around, abandoned. Sorry.
Albrecht may have told you to
I
that thing.
I like my white and black
And threw them away. He may not have cared for your safety.
coloring, if you will. It's
If
very
that
neutral.
Gargoyle is a threat, you must take it from the Sanctum immediately.
A couple of my frames have color in them, but not many.
Activate it.
Hold on, before we do this, just want to take a quick listen. Oh, I think, bless you. Okay. Hello. You got anything interesting before we go? No? There's like multiple voices going on too. It's really creepy, dude. The labs down here, they are an assault on your senses. Well, apparently it does matter who goes. In Lotus Eaters, it does seem that the Drifter is going to have to be the one that goes in because of the paradox.
If ignorance is bliss, then you, Tenno, must be ecstatic. Come on then, bring it closer. Wakey,
Yep.
wakey.
Where did that come from?
Screw you, dude.
Identify yourself.
It's just
Please,
the
Lord,
ignorant fish up here.
Let them figure it out. Here, in the jar. What? The fish with the big brain? Yes, the fish with the big brain. Can we please find
When we do the final fight, I'll actually talk about it in depth.
Over with.
It's gonna be a lot easier to explain while it's happening.
To get the Caviar voice.
At least how I
Used to
interpret
need to
the
keep them
scene.
alive. Such a resourceful man.
A lot of love there.
So, here we are. Then. The
Yeah, give me 1
best of
second, and
what's
I will
left.
talk about that.
Clearly, Papa's plan was countered. Color me surprised. Right then, we may proceed with the sequence.
You animals have observed us all this time, have you not? You've given yourself a role in the sequence?
Indeed, we have. Come, Loid. It's named after Papa's favorite pet. Spare the rod and spoiled. We know the fragmented ones are heralds of the indifference. We know the chosen operator must summon and destroy them. And regrettably, you, Loid, have made this impossible.
Choose your words carefully.
Tenno, the Grimoire is incomplete. The final page hidden away by Loid. Be a darling and retrieve it. That's all. Run along.
So be it. The gift of decency was clearly not bestowed upon the Carvier, Tenno. But I cannot deny the page's current status is lost.
Talk? I can talk. Hey, hey! Oh, Mr. Loid! Mr. Loid! Where is Papa? Why did Papa leave us? Mr. Loid!
Papa is gone. We could all be gone too. In an instant. Like, we have to keep quiet.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, so the paradox. This is going to be some serious spoilers if you haven't completed Lotus Eaters, because it's pretty significant. But if you're willing to listen to it, here it goes. The man on the wall apparently is ready to utilize the Tenno for whatever they're supposed to be to him. And the Lotus seemingly is the one that's kind of attempting to hold that back. But she's...
and take back our speech.
Hold on, let him finish.
We would be screwed. So, be a love and eradicate the murmur in this patch before the big bad gets word that Loid's awake and the fish is talking.
Tenno, there is some truth to what the fish says. That page was the last thing my Albrecht ever wrote. Meant for me. Since I have no interest in reading his endless self-justifications, I hid it away instead. But with all this chaos, it's undetectable.
Where'd you hide it? Okay, so if we were to go back in time, it's essentially insinuated that through that process, the man on the wall would be able to take us. And essentially that could be the end of the deal that we made, that's never been actually like expounded upon, We know that we made a deal with Wall, we don't know what the deal was. But it's kind of insinuated that the deal was for us. And because of that, it would make the Tenno vulnerable during the trip. But because of the fact that we have a drifter, we have another aspect of ourselves that's already been shown to be able to kind of interact with what the Tenno are able to interact with, and yet be able to withstand it a little bit better, kind of like how they were able to wear the veils without succumbing, because it wasn't because the life that was attempting to be kind of utilized as a facade, if you will. That whole thing was hold on, let me a little deeper in here. Somehow that he has the fact that he exists but doesn't exist within our timeline allows him to essentially pass through it almost in a method of not being able to be seen. And I think you may actually see a little bit of that in the fact that he was able to go into that area of 1999 without the Hex being present there. And if I'm understanding what we saw correctly, allowed for the kind page to exist and be pulled and utilized as the line that Loid is going to need in order to get us back to 1999. How's that? And yes, if you want to look at it as a Faustian bargain, that's exactly what it is. And it's one of the things that I'm actually going to go into with Kume, because whereas she definitely has a lot of her Japanese influences, one thing that I think that can be interpreted a couple different ways is her the scenario where she gives you the best roll, the 666, 666. So you can look at the I can save them, all of them, quote, two different ways. It seems to be strongly insinuated that the Tenno, even though there are other Tenno, the Tenno that we play as is the one that made the deal allowing for the other Tenno to have powers. So essentially that the other Tenno aren't necessarily deal makers themselves, rather just beneficiaries of the deal that we made, right? So you could look at it as he's just speaking about the other children on the Zeraman. However, I think that there is absolutely another interpretation that can be made, in that we see his influence heavily present during the New War. And given that he makes it possible for us to save, I mean, if you really want to get right down to it, the entirety of the origin system, he could have been looking at that as a kind of future thing, and especially because it's within the New War quest, you could make the argument that he's talking about literally everybody. Everybody in the origin system that you save is, in a way, because he did it. Because he was the one that gave you the power. Because he was the one that allowed for, this ability in the first place. And depending on how far you want to take that, because he was the one who allowed the Drifter to come back into this area. Now that part isn't, insinuate or isn't verified in any way, but I think you could absolutely make the case that somebody brought the Drifter back. And who was that? Because it certainly wasn't the Lotus. And the entirety of Duviri just paints a very, very odd picture on how the Drifter was able to come back in. But again, these are some loose interpretations based upon not nearly enough data to make like what I would say a confirmed thing. But I think that's what makes Warframe so amazing, is that so little of the lore, the important lore, is actually locked down to one interpretation. Oh, wall latch, man. I mean, somebody had to have brought the Drifter back. Come on. Who has the power to do that? There's, when you really think about it, there's the Void. The entity is the Void. And I guess you could say Entrati. But they may be the same person. So then what? And I mean, let's be real, the whole Lotus hand thing, you know, something's going on here. Not to mention, here's something else that's pretty interesting. I think you guys might find this very cool. When we first pick up, when we first get the Lotus back in the new war, right? If you pay really close attention to her, the only thing that's real is the hand. Everything else is like this etheric-looking thing, and only by getting more of the Archon shards do we bring more of her back. I'm pretty much giving up on wall latching. Yeah, I don't want that one. Very possible. The Teshin thing is still a mystery. How did... And again, you might make the case that... I do that all the time. I think I muted myself. You're right. I did mute myself. I think I had it off for too long. The point that I was trying to make to only myself, apparently, was, does anybody else, like, after you've been playing for a really long time, like, you kind of lose track of the mods that you have to the point where, you know, you'll be looking for a new, say, a new build or something, and you'll see something online, and oh yeah, that's cool, and they'll put up a mod, and you'll be like, what is that thing? I've never seen that mod before. And then you'll go online and you'll look and you say, okay, how do I get this thing, right? And then you look through your mods and you find that you already have like 7 or 8 of them. He wasn't just focusing. He muted himself to cough, and he never put it back. All right.
How about you give me the page instead, kiddo? Consider it part of our deal.
See, he wanted the page. That's why he wanted. That's why he was allowing it in the first place. Look at my Tenno in the back. He's like sprinting. Ballas is an interesting one. If Ballas did make a deal, I think Wally screwed him on it. Or if nothing else, collected. Okay, that looks weird.
There. It's done. Keep it to yourself, Tenno. I'm damned if I'm giving Albrecht the last word.
Okay.
Tenno.
Oh, fell hand raps upon the untimed door, and sans Grimoire, we are undone. Weeping rumbled.
He's coming. He's breaking everything. It's all falling apart now. Now here, he does a similar thing that he does in the beginning of the quest. Well, okay, the reason why I think that he wants the page is so that Loid doesn't get it. Loid doesn't see it, because the page is what calms Loid down. And, well, you'll see here in a second.
Tenno, are you there? Oh, thank Void. Listen, the Murmur diverted your extraction jump. We need you back at the Sanctum, now! Hurry!
Yes, Wally is definitely monkey paw material, big time. Okay, so you're okay. I don't want to. When the final fight comes, I'll kind of explain at least my interpretation of what's happening here, because it is kind of, it's definitely weird. There's no two ways around it. Okay. So, now make sure you pay attention to who this thing is feeding off of. And whose potential variation of this it actually is.
Takes. It took my future. It's taking the labs inch by inch. Well, I won't let it take his bloody coffee out.
That's too much. Wukong monkey paws, too much power.
Indifference seeks a path through the walls, and then Tenno, through you. Keep it at bay.
Now, did you... Now, check this out. That's pretty awesome looking. He said that he was going to make a path through us. Right? You getting how he's going to do that? Well, thank you, Nico. Appreciate that. Okay, so the fight right now, Arthur is pretty much not involved at this point, aside from the fact that whatever kind of thing happens to him when we interact with this particular vessel, that's what he would be. It's what he would be experiencing in 1999, most likely, while we're doing it. That being said, I don't think it's anything of significance, but when we're doing Warframe 1999, right? Definitely keep your eyes out. Hold on. Some of the best music. Definitely keep your eye out for things that Arthur says that may kind of reference back to this fight, because we may get more information on what was occurring at the same time, what he was feeling. we may, in that mission, he may say something like, "Oh, I was having a vision of this, that, and the other thing," and it might tie directly back to that. So keep that in the back of your head during 1999.
But I would not spare you a glance. You gave me back my voice, but I never spoke to praise you as I should have.
Ow!
For you were my right hand, my strength,
Yeah.
my support, my sanctuary. Even when the galleries hurled scorn upon me, your sole desire was to suffer it in my stead.
Hey, Lee! Welcome to the channel as a member. I appreciate that.
On your first day of service, you aspired to be worthy of me. I only wish that I could have been worthy of you, my lord.
Okay, so without hearing that, right? Without hearing that, what happens at the end of the fight would not be possible. So I believe somebody said in the beginning, whose demon is this? Oh, thank you, Siraj. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. See, he knows exactly what he has to do right here. There you go, user. And the reason why this works is because of what Loid heard from Albric. It allowed him to let go of his hate. If he didn't let go of the hate, this thing that right here would never have worked. When I saw this the first time, yep, that's exactly what I was like, oh, this just works out so perfectly. Loid feels this. Yep. I mean, Warframe is so good about tying things back around. It's amazing. Now, here we go.
This stillness.
Look at the eyes.
No. No. Operator.
The strand of claw has been cut, while the indifference remains undeterred. I foresee a grim and continuing struggle to safeguard Papa's laboratory from its fell and ruinous grasp.
Indeed. I shall not waver.
Before we talk to him, I'm just gonna, so check this out. Here's a... Why do you think the heart's beating so fast and strong in this one? We didn't take away Wally's pain. We took away Loid's pain. But Loid, his anger, his emotions were fueling that whole scenario. That's it. Wally loves the emotions. He loves the emotions. Now, before I do this, before we say this, that might actually be once we get out of this part. I think that we'll go back to that, and I think the sound changes a little bit. You'll see, but that could be just like a little bug. We'll find out because I don't remember that frame snoring in the past afterwards. But now remember, we talked about it earlier. Albrecht isn't sure if he's the man in the wall and himself, right, or if he got out. It looked like Albrecht was in this lab when he made those recordings, that if they were pre-recorded, they don't really sound pre-recorded, at least the way that he says it. It sounds like he was saying all this in the aftermath of it. Why I had to do this. You know, it's not why I'm doing this, it's why I had to do it. Now keep that in mind.
Protect the vessels. Repair. Rebuild. So
most likely, strong negative emotions seem to be the real catalyst.
In the version of the past we saw, my Albrecht said we were too late. The solution, naturally, is to arrive on time next time. You keep the murmur at bay, I shall fulfill my role. Punctuality. The Entrati family never could arrive on time without my help. And so, here I am, back to my old role, the diligent servant. Albrecht would have smiled at that, I think.
What did he say to you right before he left? I love this one because it's interesting. If you play the beginning part without music, you can hear what he's saying there. Now, the question after the quest, months after the quest, that I started to ask myself was, are we talking about what he said right, like the moment that he was being put into the machine, or is this from some other time? Because if it was from the beginning part, right, he says that he wasn't worthy. But notice that is the all dark version of the answer. So it's kind of a weird thing in that we hear what he says, but I'm not 100% certain that that's the same thing that he's referring to. And yeah, as far as the arrive on time this time, it is interesting that prior to that, Loid said that, actually called that version of him the man in the wall. When he said, look, he followed him back there anyhow. Let me see. Let's see if he says...
My last sight of your face must not be marred by tears.
Oh, thanks, Lee. Right to... Really nice. Thank you, everybody. All right, here's the scene.
the wee child ran.
Yet still, the end has re-began.
He's here.
Tenno, our work goes on.
So the question that you have to ask is, given the setting right here and the fact that somebody else is obviously in this lab that looks exactly like Albrecht and Trotty,
With your courage and our expertise, we hold the line.
I think they were being sinister together, personally, at the very end there. Wally really likes to. He's a kid at heart. He's an innocent at heart.
Let's at least pretend this mess can still work.
I know, he's still snoring. He's snoring with no heartbeat. Oh! Wait a second. Who's snoring? I want to say it's this one. I don't know if that's like a bug or not, because I don't remember this one making any noise in the past. Eyes are definitely completely whited over. A bit like little mirrors. No. Albrecht made the message. The Indifference wanted that page so that Loid never saw that. If Loid never saw that, his anger would just continue over and over. It would just keep getting worse, which would essentially allow that entity to just run, completely rampant around here. But the fact that he was able to, that was the whole thing with getting the page and having him hear the page, listen to it, and hearing Trotty's true feelings allowed him to kind of break his. Because the theme of the entire quest is essentially that Loid is completely upset. He's not indifferent at all. In fact, he's extremely emotional throughout this entire quest. Angry. All right, this is even really more messed up that she's out here now.
Lua, the miracle. Do you understand what it cost?
Wow, that's perfect. Perfect for it to come and walk out and speaking to her. There you go. If anybody was wondering what the deal most likely was, the miracle. Do you understand what it cost? I think so. And that's another thing to consider too, is that
I will guide you. As
I'm still not sure whose side the Kavia early on. I think she's seeing the same thing we're seeing. Oh yeah, you can see Wally like real good.
Blind once again, empty of all but wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, we really don't know. We don't even know who the Cavia understand Papa to be.
Well done, lads, well done! I dare say the murmur is quaking in its ambulators. Oh, with the hiding of...
Everybody wants to see this face up. Like, how come... here's my question. Why is this face so significant to everybody, but that one doesn't mean anything? Or that one? Or this one? See, if you ask me personally, this is just my take on it, and I could be completely wrong, but I think the only one... Wait, what? Look in that direct straight left from the Lotus at the backdrop.
I will not let it devour one instant of my...
Oh, you mean like this? So,
Not even Ballas. Not even the Jade Light.
not necessarily. It's possible that the Lotus made the deal after, Nata and Margulis were already integrated into one. At least in a mental situation. I think the verdict's still out a little bit on, how the Lotus is all three entities together. To the left, is that the Zeraman? Wait, whoa. No, that's just the lab. I see what I think you're referring to this whole thing right there. I think that's just aspects of the Intradi's section of the lab, not this crazy place where you can see this kind of like dividing section here. Oh, and also, is it here? I can see it. The other, hold on. Maybe you can see it down here. I mean, it definitely looks similar to the Zeraman in the shape of it, but I do think I could ask you the same question. I guess you gave us the answer already. See how that's like, it's like this is like a big wall. Very Orican, gold filigree, and yet completely cosmic. Oh, and then let's see if I can... Maybe over here I can do it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So, remember that I was talking about that diagram on the wall with the man on the wall where you had like the two balls, right? And then like everything was going in between. Well, there's... let's see. How can we see the top one? His head's in the way. Right down there. You can kind of see it spinning right there. There's the one. Can you see that? It's very hard to make out. Try to wall latch. Nope. Might be a little... See that, like, orb-looking thing down there? It has... When you can almost see the runes, they're like permeating off of it. True, but isn't that one pretty... Well, I guess that's not as complete. There is one... There's actually a much better head in the labs, but it's only on particular tile set. And I don't know which one it is specifically, but it is a freaky looking face. That kind of does look like Jupiter, huh?
We've had a few setbacks.
That's interesting.
But we are going to crack on.
Where's the old Sanctum Anatomica? There it is. Let's go look.
Come. We have much to accomplish.
Oh. Gotta kind of... Oh. There, can you see it now? So there's the one end. And right above his head. See it? Spinning in runes. That's the other end. Yeah, there's a real good look at it. You can actually see like the difference where this is like what his labs used to be, and how the indifference's dimension or world or whatever is just kind of like encroaching upon it. No, he's not pleased. Unfortunately, you can't really get up there too much. See, but you can see he's still a part of a wall, like one of these, like, structures. Like, even like his face is the only part that's there. The rest has these like just regular rectangular looking things. And like I said, I think he's kind of part of the labs. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a constant reminder to Entrati of what's going on, or what the story is. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think, the main one. You can't really see this one too well in here. The abandoned... there's an eye in there. I don't know why they put that in there. You can't even get in. go to one more place here. Well, what was that? I don't know if they changed the thing in there. Like I said, I don't remember him, that one frame, or the one vessel, continuing to snore or breathe heavy. I don't know what you want to say. It's weird because he doesn't have a heartbeat, so I don't get it. Where's the best one at? There it is. Do you think the fact that this one has green eyes is significant in any way? Interesting. Oh. There you go. That's possible, yeah. And Trotty may never have seen that Vitruvian thing that we saw. That's definitely possible. But I mean, you can see too. What's interesting here is, at first you might think that this is like a shadow from something that's really far down there or something, but no. You can see, look at the armpit. You can actually see the shadow of the armpit. He's right there. Right? That's his Vitruvian form. Yeah, so if you really want to get creeped out, get yourself the abandoned vessel Captura, and you can just sit here for a while, and it's just terrifying. In fact, I would say, given what I'm looking at right here, right, this face looks a lot less like Entrati's face, the Vitruvian form that we had, right? And wait a second, can I? Oh yeah, I think it looks a lot more like this one. All right, let me put it somewhere else. I can't see that at all. No, he's snoring too. Oh no, Green Eyes is Quincy? Not. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. So you saw that. Here, let me maybe put it here instead. We can get like a Real quick view against each other here. Okay, we're not. Right? So you see that. Which in itself is just a horrifying image, you know? But then... Okay, so you see that, right? And then we go back up here. Oh, he's envious, obviously. Right? Right? So the new video, let's put it this way: it'll be contingent upon what happens with the hurricane. You know, if everything goes through and we don't lose power, you know, for a significant amount of time, you'll have the video be out by this weekend. If we have some issues and stuff like that, that's going to be a little bit different scenario. You got to admit, though, come on, that's the face. It doesn't look like Entrati's at all. Like it. It even has his little things, the little like things on the corners of his neck. That's very possible. I didn't think about that. They may have added a bunch of stuff. That might be why certain things are the way they are. Because, look, he's green, where I've seen the other ones have some different coloring. We'll have to go through this all again and maybe make a video about some of the changes that have happened. Because I can just pull some of the older video, confirm that some of the stuff's been changed. It had to have been. Interesting stuff, though, wouldn't you say? Yeah, you ain't kidding. Super big. And he's right down there. And I mean, everybody kind of picked up on the whole. I'm sure you figured this out, but the thing in the back, essentially making him look like the man in the wall. The structure. See, like it's in perfect placement there. This is why I think this is the one that Entrati specifically set up for the Indifference to commune with it. It even looks like that whole entity. And like I said, the fact that there's a chair there facing it with the Requiem words around. Yeah, we know what you were doing here. And it wasn't anything good. That would be awesome. If Linkin Park just I'm not high, I swear. Well, we wouldn't give you a lot of crap if you were, all right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that's pretty much to go to hell or to commune with the devil. So what do you think, chat? Did we learn a thing or two from the stream today? Did you see something that you didn't notice before? Did you see the cat go at it right there? You know, I'm beginning to think that the heartbeats have some kind of meaning to them. Well, yeah, you could be left with a bunch of questions, too. I mean, this is the struggle that I have every day. The more that I understand, the more that I don't understand. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole vessel color, eye color thing because it might be something to that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, he does. What's his name? Vor seems to believe that he's the originator of the Janus key, or at least has the power from it. So that's probably not too far off. Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, we kind of already know because the technology that the Railjacks utilize in order for their void travel is based specifically upon his finger. That's why we have to have a copy of it inside the Railjack. Hey, thank you, Biss. Hey, Biss, I appreciate that. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully everything will work out real nice. And we'll be back just to doing our thing like normal. Yeah. So we got this one here. Big heartbeat. Huge. So, essentially, what I think is this is kind of like a vessel that the Tenno has commandeered. I do believe it's absolutely from Arthur, but I don't necessarily know that. Kind of like with the Warframes, I don't necessarily know that it's still his now. Once that the Tenno have done their thing to become a part of it. We don't know what happened for the Tenno to kind of get into this, if you will. Was there a kind of a similar situation to what, happened with Umbra, where there's easing of the pain before the easing of the pain of Loid's thing? It's tough to say. But it looks as though this thing is probably now ours, and maybe the reason why the eyes have gone from it, because it's been linked with a Tenno. These are actually vessels. Yes, I agree with that. Hello, hello. Dark Shotgun, what did you pay $20 for? I didn't see the other. I'm not even 100% certain that we're gonna fight Wally. Yeah, like, I don't know that it's going to be this. I know that Entrati has big plans for that. But I just don't know that it's going to be feasible the way that he thinks. And we've seen that Entrati can be wrong. And in fact has been wrong. I paid $20 to get into his brain. I'd pay more.
Yes, your eyes aren't deceiving you. Old Necroloid is working in the Sanctum now. So many responsibilities to juggle.
So Loid lets you down here now? That's really nice of him.
Boomy sort of scared me.
Feel free. Give a couple hugs. Got to do that. I heard they're going to be adding the ability to hug Loid too. I'd say that's all right. That's definitely possible. That is absolutely possible. We're obviously going to have some type of relationship with all of the Hex. One specifically, come when the ball drops on 1999. I think you're right. I think that's Wally wants us without question. We just have to discern what for, and that could be the reason.
Ahoy, ahoy! Might you have time for a quick run?
No, but I got time for a quick hug. It does appear that the pizza has something to do with the proliferation of the infestation. Yes, at least as the song says. You can hug all three of them. I think that the indifference is already there based upon the fact that we see him there. He's now granted it's not something that people are going to know. If you don't go in the back during that scene, you'll never realize that the man in the wall's been sitting there the whole time. I know. I love being able to give them. Yes, you can hug all of them, and I suggest that you do such a thing. No, it looks the same actually. From what I know, I think they're all the same animation. Well, everyone, it has been a wonderful stream, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it because I have to start figuring out what if anything I need to do yet. That being said, if everything goes to plan and I get everything together tonight and I feel good about where I'm at with my hurricane prep, tomorrow I may stream again. Oh, you got to get a hug. Hugs are the best. I would give you a virtual hug. I hope I don't die too. I think I'm going to be okay though. I really do. But like I said, thank you everybody for stopping by. I realize this was kind of short notice, but the fact you all made it here really makes me feel good. And like I said, just keep an eye on the channel. I may stream tomorrow, and if you are a Floridian or you're in the path of the hurricane, please, after the storm, check in with the channel if you would. Okay, just say, hey, I made it okay, everything's cool, whatever you got to do. Okay? All right, everybody. Well, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your week if I don't talk to you. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.